Everybody, Ralph Havens here. And Labor Day weekend, if you're watching this live or if you're watching later, welcome. So at the start of this weekend, I had this idea that I would ask everybody, ask you what you really wanted and, what it was really all about and what it would get you if you got it and what was in the way. And then my promise was to do a session. And so I had a survey. There's a survey. If you go to, I think the one that was on Friday, like a couple of days ago, you can look for that video. And there's a survey there that you can take that where you can tell me what you really want, why it's so important to you, what's really going on with all that, and what's possibly in the way, what you see that's in the way, and if solving it, if you solved it, what it would do for you. And so there I was over the weekend thinking about all of you. Thinking of you and what you want and what it's really all about and your challenges. And I was reading through all the surveys last night. I thought I'm going to go ahead and just grab all the surveys and start to go through. And there was just a couple of patterns, a couple of patterns that I saw. I saw people wanting all sorts of stuff, money and health and love and all sorts of things and the reasons why and what's in the way. And sometimes there was stuff in the way that seemed to be stuff that was out of people's control, like other people causing a problem. And some things were things that somebody just didn't have enough resourcefulness. They didn't know what to do or how to do it, or didn't have the money to get the right healing or coaching or whatever was needed. And so I started to see it all. And there's been a bunch of stuff going on lately where I'm seeing some patterns. One was, I don't want to give away too much details just because it's such a private thing, but there was a family that was in a lot of need up here. And one of our friends supplied that need and gave a lot. And the funny thing is, she tried to instill some life skills ideas for this family because they were doing stuff that was making it where it'd be really hard to succeed and it'd be really hard to get ahead and it'd be really hard to get other people to help you. And so that was a pattern that was so easy to see with this family. And it's really sad because you want to help a family, but when you do, and then they do stuff that just literally that just doesn't, that makes it worse. Like, why are you doing this? You could you have so much that's being offered to you and you're just you're not following through, man. And so it's really heartbreaking, but it's a pattern. And it's like, well, maybe they'll see it. And of course they have the right to live their life their way, but it's kind of sad. And there's other people, of course, that come through really hard times and succeed. And there's certain kind of skills and traits of these two different kinds of people, the ones that do well after a lot of adversity and the ones that don't. And so I was looking through all the survey questions and answers and tuning in. And one thing that came to me was, I've seen so many miracles. I mean, I literally saw a woman, I think she was in her low 30s, she might have been in her upper 20s at the time, whose teeth didn't fit together and had all sorts of appliances and seen all sorts of practitioners and had a lot of chronic pain. And I saw that change in one session. It was when I was doing purely matrix energetics, and we checked it before, closed the mouth, teeth don't touch, checked it afterwards, closed the mouth, teeth touch perfectly. And she later got rid of all of her appliances and she did really well. But so I've seen miracles, even if who knows what people's life skills are or what their habits are or anything. There can be massive healing in a moment, but there's something really valuable of having certain skills and certain mindsets. And so I'm lucky enough to have what a great family. And Ben, my first little boy, is just amazing. I've seen him come through amazing stuff from the very beginning. Some stuff that I won't talk about right now because I want to keep it really positive. But some stuff happened, and his early on, his mindset, his attitude was really strong, and he's the kind of kid that if he's got sniffles and he's like, oh, I think he's getting a cold. I'll say, Ben, you got a cold. You look like you got a cold. Your nose is running. He's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's like, and he does something where you fall or some kind of thing happens and he's limping around. I'm like, Ben, you're limping. And he's like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. And so yesterday he's been getting way into running, and it's kind of cool because I'm way into running, so it's kind of cool to see that. And I don't push him, but I keep telling him it's just about being having fun. But he has all these goals of like what age he's going to run certain times, and he's running some really fast times for his age, big time. And so he was starting to map out his training schedule. And I thought, oh, okay, if you're going to do this, let me be your coach. Because, when I was starting out, I had coaches that weren't quite up to speed. And I think back on it still and think, God, if I would have had a good coach in the last part of high school, I could have been such a star, And and now I know the coaching thing. In fact, it's one of the things that drives me is to be in a position that when Ben is in later years in high school and stuff, I can be his coach for his team, take the time off and do that. That's one of my dreams. So that's one of my goals. And so there he was mapping out his training, and I'm like, oh, no. That's just going to that won't get you where you want to go in the way that you want to get there. If you're going to do that, let me be your coach. So we're talking to his grandma, Jen's mom, yesterday, and she was like, you're going to be his coach? I could tell she was kind of concerned, like, you're not going to push him, right? And I was like, no, the biggest thing is like to make sure he doesn't do too much, to keep it under a certain level of, there's a certain way to do this. It was easy. It was just about going as hard as you can, as often as you can. Everybody would be Olympic champion, but there's a certain science and art to it. So I mapped it out and I said, okay, we're going to do this on Sundays, and we're going to do this on Tuesdays, and we're going to do this on Fridays. And he's all in now, and it's great. So one of the things that's useful is to have a coach, right? So whatever, it's been really my greatest lessons in life. My running coaches, if I hadn't had them, I wouldn't have been the kind of marathoner and runner that I that ended up being. I ended up finding some good coaches. So I learned a lot from that idea. And so where was I going with that? So Ben is really strong, and he's really got a lot of this stuff dialed in. And there was one more piece that he had, and I forgot what it was. Yeah, I forgot what it was. But basically that so that idea, it's Labor Day weekend, so I'm still in with you for whoever did the survey. So we'll do some more session today, and let me know. Email me, comment on the videos, and let me know what's different for you. And one thing that could be really cool is as you go through and feel like, what do you want, and why do you want it? Why do you want it? Why do you want it? Like, what would that really do for you? What would that really do for you? Would it be a matter of having the respect of certain people, or being included in a certain group or family, or connecting with your true life purpose? What would be the thing for you, the real thing, the deep thing, not just the superficial stuff? What would that give you? And what is in the way? What is in the way? What is in the way that seems to be somebody else causing it that you have no control over? And what's in the way that you have some control over? And can you make some decisions about that stuff? And then the key, I think, is there's many keys, but one of them is to get a plan, and then to start to do stuff, and then look for who could be, like, what resources do you have access to that you're not using yet, or not using fully. And you can start to get like, oh wow, I could use some of this and some of this and some of this, and get your resources. Because even if you don't have the money, for some people that could be a big thing, but the resourcefulness is still there. Like, you might not have the physical resources, but you can think of yourself as infinitely resourceful. What are you not using yet that's available to you? And and then get a plan, and then of course you got to do the plan, right? So that's some stuff that I see as I was reading through the surveys, like, oh, people want so many cool things. And if you can go deeper, and why do you really want it? If it's important enough, then it could be really cool to look for what are the resources that you can use? What are the resources? And then, or you can make a decision if you're going to use them. So that's what I have for you today. I'm going to go ahead and step out of this session in just a moment. And today, I'm doing a little work, but I'm going to drop back into the space of infinite possibilities, the matrix energetic space. For everybody that's here with us on these videos, and you can let me know what's different for you. Kind of like that woman that her teeth were different afterwards. But that what's really cool is not just to stop there and say, well, you know, somebody healed me or something happened and it's all different now. But take it a step further, a little more, what you can do, what are your resources you're not using yet, and then what's your plan? And I'd love to hear what you're up to, what you want, why you want it, what resources you're not using yet, and your plan. Let me know. You can comment below, and I'm going to check it later on today, check the video, this video, and look at the comments, and then do another Matrix Energetic session tonight for that, for you. And you can even notice what's different after watching this video. So comment below, let me know what's going on, and I will see you guys very soon.